I got the poison. I got the remedy. I got the perfect and miracle remedy. I got the poison. I got the remedy. I got the perfect and miracle remedy. I got the poison. I got the remedy. I got the perfect and miracle remedy. I got the poison. I got the remedy. I got the poison. I got the poison. I got the poison. I got the poison. I got the remedy. I got the perfect and rhythmical remedy. I got the poison. I got the remedy. I got the perfect and rhythmical remedy. I got the poison. I got the remedy. I got the perfect and rhythmical remedy. I got the poison. I got the remedy. I got the pressure. The pressure.
Hi, this is Aaron from My Dying Bride, and you're watching Art Uber Alles. Well, it's pretty dark, it's very heavy, it has gothic overtones, it's melancholic. It's not really easy listening, it's not something you would listen to for 5 minutes and enjoy immediately. I think you've got to work to enjoy our music. Which is not a bad thing, because it means there are many levels to sort of discover. So it's not for the faint-hearted. You know, the lyrics are quite intriguing. We've got violins. Some of it's very slow, some of it's very aggressive, but it's quite complicated in certain areas. So it's not for people who just want a quick fix. It's for people who are really going to indulge themselves in something a little bit special, I think. I think early on it did. In the early days when we had Martin playing violin for us, back in 1990, 20 years ago, it was quite an interesting thing, quite unique, and we used it in quite a nice way. There were other bands who were using a violin, but more like a fiddle, more kind of folk music, you know, like Skyclad or something like that. We used it in the classical sense, and we did well for a great many years, and then Martin left, and then I think we've actually had no violin longer than we've had violin, but it's returned now, and it's nice to have it back. And we didn't really miss it. The fans missed it, of course. We didn't really miss it, because to us, we created the music and then the violin was added afterwards. So when it went, it didn't leave a big hole for us, but it left a big hole for the fans. And so, well, it returned anyway. When Sarah left to have a baby, we replaced her with Katie, who brought the violin and the keyboards with her. And so it was quite unexpected to have a return to the violin. But it was a good surprise. It was a nice surprise. And when we knew Katie could play the violin, we thought, okay, it's been a long time. Let's see what we can do. And it was great to have it back. But again, we didn't want to have too much violin, because when you bring something back, if you overuse it, it becomes a gimmick, and people would ignore all the music except the violin, and all the reviews, everyone would just talk about the violin, which is unfair to all the other contributors. So we kept the violin quite low, not on every track, and just in moderation. Maybe a bit more on the next album now that it's returned, but it was important not to just fill the whole album with it, because it would just be a ridiculous gimmick, and that's not going to happen. Well, we knew we were going to create a kind of gothic, dark, doom, death style of music, and because I like poetry, I wanted to have a sort of poetical name, and so it was either going to be My Dying Child or My Dying Bride, but we agreed that My Dying Child had a more brutal sort of sound, because when we formed, the whole death metal scene was massive, and everybody had names with death and dying in, and we just thought Child is a bit too aggressive, Bride is quite romantic, you know, and tragic, and because I like the kind of whole tragedy thing, Greek tragedies and all that kind of thing, I thought My Dying Bride, it has a sad eloquence to it, and it stands out from all the other band names when we first formed. I think now there are many bands whose names are a little bit similar to My Dying Bride, but you know, that's not a bad thing, I suppose. But in its day it was unique, and it made people think, that's interesting, tell me more. Some bands have names which are uninteresting, they don't draw you in. I think a name like My Dying Bride, maybe not so much now because we've been going 20 years, but in the past, when people heard it for the first time, they were intrigued by it. And that name gives you a good clue as to the style of music you're going to hear. It's going to be melancholic, very low, depressing, but slightly romantic too. So I think it fits very well. It's always interesting, I'm sure with every band, when you release a new record, you don't know if people are going to love it or hate it. But we seem to have had a very steady following for all the 20 years. We've been very lucky. There doesn't appear to be many peaks and troughs. It seems to have been quite nice and steady. And so when the album was released, it was quite warmly accepted. The critics loved it, the journalists, you know, they were falling over themselves trying to write good reviews, which is great. You know, sometimes I think when you've been in the industry a long time, you might end up becoming a bit stale, and people just think, yeah, here they are again with another record, yawn, yawn, yawn. But I think with the violin did help. People kind of, their ears pricked up and they thought, they're still doing good stuff. My Dying Bride's still doing good stuff. And of course the fans love the idea that the violin has returned. So that's a good thing. And it's with us to stay now. Where have you gone? No, we've always worked, which is, some people find it quite unbelievable almost. When they see us performing, they don't realise that we all then go back to work after that. We never really tell people what our jobs are because it's irrelevant to what we're doing. My Dying Bride is an entity in itself, and we're like crew members on the My Dying Bride ship. Every now and again we get off, and every now and again we get back on again and sail the dark shores in black voyages, you know, that's what we do. But we've always been semi-professional. I guess that classic thing, my dad told me years ago, you know, don't give up your day job. And we never did, you know, it was the thing, we're hard Yorkshiremen, we work hard, you know, we play hard. But I think it's benefited as well, because we have seen bands who tour all the time and they look tired and, well, kind of pissed off. They don't know what town they're in, they don't really care, and they're just going, that's their job. And for us, we will only play maybe 20 or 30 shows a year, but it makes all of them very special because we don't do them very often, and so we enjoy them, and for us it's an absolute blast. Other bands who do it professionally, you can just see it, their shoulders are low, they start to not care anymore where they are or what they're doing. We enjoy the shows, it's something special, and that's because we've still got jobs. We do actually, and we were hoping to do a photo shoot while we were here in Greece with him in, because he hasn't appeared in any photographs yet. Because we did a photo shoot with Katie, the previous violin player, and then she left a week later, just as we printed all the photos, you know. So we really should have got some new promotional photos done with Sean, because he is a full-time member. We feel like he's part of the band now. So yeah, I think while we're here we'll get some professional photography done, just to show the world that he's not just some guy off the street who stands at the back playing the violin. He is a member of My Dying Bride, and I think on the next album we'll encourage him to write with us. When Katie did the album, she just added stuff that we kind of told her to add. You know, we said play on this riff but don't play on this riff, and she did, you know, what she was told. I would like a bit more interaction from Sean. I want him to come up with the ideas and say, look, I know you guys have been doing it for 20 years, but how about this? And I'd like to hear what he's got to say. So he's definitely a full member of the band now. That's a good question. It's difficult for me being in the band to try and see